Black, Poetic G. Beautiful love always carries knowledge. Pay attention. All right, time to get it in, man. Let's go, y'all. Let's go, folks. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all for tapping into this live. We are ready. We are set. We've been having a little technical difficulty. Sorry about everything. We just waiting for our guest to come in. I am the host. I see our guest is in right there. Good afternoon, fellas. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, fellas. Good afternoon.
Any visual?
Not on my end. I don't know why.
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why. Maybe it'll come up afterwards. I'm not sure why there's no visual on my end.
That's crazy. Can anybody in the things? Can y'all see me in the audience? Talking my shit. Can you see us both?
Yeah, can y'all see both of us?
Yeah, they can see both of us.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But on my end, I can't even see you at all.
Instagram, dog. Instagram.
Instagram is crazy, man. But it's all good, bro. It's all good. I feel like let's go. Let's get right into it.
Let's do it.
Uh, first and foremost, y'all, I'm King George. I'm the owner of T.Y.I Productions. I'm the curator of Black 31 magazine. I'm here with another special brother from the community. This brother is an author. This brother is a Vietnam War vet. This brother is one of the coolest uncles uh, around. He's definitely an advocate for cannabis, and he wears so many more different hats. But also in this interview, we're going to get into the foundation of who Terry Brown is and just get into the story of Mr. Terry Brown. So y'all, let's give it up for Uncle Emo.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So Uncle Emo, man, just to start off everything, man. What was life like growing up? Just growing up and where you come from. What was it all like?
Uh, I'm from New Orleans, and we was raised Southern style, so. You was raised, you had to speak to people when you walked past people back in the day. If you didn't speak to your neighbors and your mama and your daddy know you didn't speak to your neighbors, you get your ass whipped. Or if your
Yep.
neighbor was coming home carrying a bag of groceries and you didn't help that neighbor, you get your ass whipped. It was
Yeah.
serious business back then as far as for a respect factor. And in today's
Yes.
society, the main problem we have today is nobody has respect for each other. Because if we had respect for each other, when we tell each other something, we would follow through with it. So many people
Mm-hmm.
today tell you, look, I'm coming to your video shoot. I'm going to come to your concert. I'm going to come to your show. I'm going to help you do this. And they never show up. It's because the respect factor is lost. But in the
That's
old days, man, you used to leave your windows in your house open. You never even had to lock the front door. Crime was not like it is running rampant today. We lost
yes.
our way so much. And what's bad is, we adults had lived our lives. It's the children of today that have to suffer so much.
Yes.
You can't even go to a party without worrying about getting shot. You can't even go to school without worrying about getting shot. And now they're passing laws to make this even worse. Louisiana just passed a law. If you 18 and over, you can legally carry a concealed weapon.
Wow.
Now, what that does is, it's crazy because you can't buy a gun till you're 21.
Mm.
So how you letting these kids carry guns at 18? No training, no permit, nothing at all. You just gonna get you a gun and you can carry that gun at 18,
Mm.
but you can't buy one. So it's a setup. It's a catch-22. Where you gonna get your gun from?
Yes. Yes.
So
Absolutely. And
that's Times back then was wonderful, man. And compared to today, like they said, let's go back to the old days. I wish we could,
Yes. Yes.
just for
Yes.
the children's sake.
Yes. And what is and what do you feel is why we having so much of a gun problem within the youth?
It's genocide. Them kids think the guns are being put in the hoods. You can buy a gun anywhere. You can buy a gun faster than you can buy a pack of cigarettes. It's genocide by design. Everything this country has been about is to destroy the black man, literally, to destroy and to keep him down. So what that was, they put all the dope in our neighborhoods. Acid used to be a big thing. PCP used to be a big thing, but white kids used to do acid and stuff. They
Yeah.
cleaned that up. They didn't clean up the crack cocaine. They let that keep running rampant. So with that, kids can buy these guns because they're selling dope so fast now. They can buy big, heavy artillery. They're not buying little pistols. They're buying brrr, brrr. So when they shoot, they just spray in the area, and that's why so many innocent people are getting killed in the process.
That's
But it's
true.
that government design. All the crime in this country is you sending troops overseas when you have a war in your own country. These kids are at war. Let's not play games with this. They're literally at war with each other. When they see one on the street, he has to kill the other one because if not, that other one get the drop on him, he's dead. So that's why
Hmm.
even if you holding a baby, they don't care. He's gonna open fire.
Yes. That's true. That's true. And the I feel like the problem, like you said, the problem that we have in America, but all over America, especially within black communities, gun violence, the youth, also extend from at home parenting and the music
No
that they listening
parenting.
to.
There are no
Mm.
parents no more. It's one parent.
Yeah. Yes.
They broke the black families up when they took the belt out the house. When they told the black man you could not correct your kids, that's when the black family starts splitting up. A man cannot raise a household and not correct his children when they're wrong.
Absolutely.
And the little 12 and 13-year-old boy, sometimes you got to bust his ass. And the
Yes.
problem with that now, the kids know if you bust their ass, they calling the police for child abuse. So they broke the black family up. You take the dad out the house, you took the structure out of the house. See the difference in a man raising a child and a woman raising a child. So a woman is a nurturer. Her job is to pick that boy up when he fall and nurture him.
Yes.
The daddy's job is to build strength in this kid. When he fall and bust his ass, now get your ass up off that ground. You shouldn't have been up in that tree.
Yeah.
He's not going to
Yeah.
nurture that baby because he's not a nurturer. That's the woman's job. So when
Yes.
you take the man out, the disciplinary out the house, these kids are going rampant. If the mama tell him too much and he's 14 years old, he'll slap the shit out of his mama. There's no respect. It's all been taken from us. The black man had so much pride in himself before. We ain't got no pride no more. Look at the clothes
Yeah.
we buy. Whatever they put on the market and sell to us, we run to it. Kanye West got these shoes that look like King Kong feet. What is somebody buying that dumb shit for?
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely. You're right about that.
marketing that's killing us. Marketing, religion, and taxes is what's really killing the black communities. The
Yes.
preachers are taking all the money out of the neighborhood, preaching the word of Jesus, using that Bible as a tool to get your dollars out your pocket. And we flock to the church. We throw money at the preacher.
Yes. Yes.
And the Catholic Church, they're molesting kids left and right. What do? We contribute to the molestation of our children.
Yep. Yep.
So we are the problem. We don't have an identity no more. We don't have what's basic. No other race ever had their children killing their children like our children are killing their children. Never happened before. This is
Absolutely.
historical, but they don't talk about it. You have nobody standing up for the kids. I got into music because I always wanted to preach to my children. You come from a great creator. You come from a God. That means that there's a God that lives in you. But through the teachings of mankind, we believe in these book gods and these book Jesuses, not in the God that gave us life. If you know you came from a God, You should want to be better than what you are.
Yes.
But we don't believe we are of a God. So I do anything I can do because I know I come from a great creator. He put greatness in me. I don't have to pray to God for nothing. What I have to do is perform from what God gave me. In other words, I got to work my trade. I got to work what I love. I got to keep doing whatever moves me enough to make a statement to this world.
Yes.
We all got greatness, but we don't love it. We don't attach to it. See what you're doing? You got your magazine. You had to first take your first steps. And then there are the naysayers that's going to tell you, man, that shit ain't going to fly. I know what you're trying to do, man, but it just ain't going to work. You know, you gave it a good shot. Now maybe you need to move on. So I made a song for those kind of people. It's called Day.
Yes.
They be the ones that be hating. They be the ones that be hating. Who the fuck is they? They said I could never be a rapper. All I'm
Yeah.
doing is counting money, getting fatter. Man, that shit they talking doesn't even matter. Fuck what they say, cause I'm still their favorite rapper.
Huh?
Who the fuck is they? Who the fuck is they? They gonna say what they say. I never met they, but they got a lot to say. They say what I can't do, not what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Listening to this say my dreams when it came through. They're the
Uh-huh.
ones I say, stay the hell away. Got no damn time to waste another day dealing with that dumb shit they got to say. Hold up. Come to think about it, who the fuck is they? They be the one that be hating. They be the one that be hating. You could be they. You could be they. Always coming round saying what they say.
Mm-hmm.
See, you got people in your corner that tell you they're
Yeah.
for you, but they always come to you with these messages of the other people. Man, they said they see you trying to do your magazine thing, but they said that ain't gonna work. Man, they got too many magazines out there.
Yeah.
That's dead. When you get dead in your corner, you gotta let that go. Let them go.
Yeah.
Because they're
Yeah.
not in your corner. They're just there in case, like you said, in case you pop off and you get big, they can always say, I was there for you. No, you wasn't there for me, man. You was
Yep.
bringing me all this sort of negative ass shit every day.
Yep. Yep. You're absolutely right about that. You're absolutely right about that. So that's why I try to keep a closed circle,
Positive.
very
Yeah,
very
that's
close
right.
circle.
Full circle.
Yeah, very very
If
small circle. It's
if you
not too
got
many.
too many friends, that means you're spending too much time doing other people's shit instead of doing your shit. You only got a certain amount of time in a day. You're sleeping for 8 hours supposedly. You're working another 8 hours supposedly. So now you got six. You got what? Eight, you got 16 hours. So you got what? I'm a Lord as a motherfucker up in here. You're running out of time. In other words, you can't spread your time everywhere.
Yeah,
Most people that don't have jobs don't work 8 hours a day. They're working 10 and
true.
12 hours a day
Yep,
because they're working for themselves and they have a business that they got to succeed with. The average
absolutely.
person go to a job his whole life and never find happiness because
Yep,
he's always reporting to somebody who's making his money off of him. You don't need
yeah,
a job. You need to find out what you love in life and nurture that. Make that your success.
absolutely, absolutely, Uncle Emo, absolutely. And that's some listen. That's some wonderful words of motivation, especially for many of people. But I what I want to get into, I want to get into the journey of you being a Vietnam War vet and what year did you decide to join the? That was the Marine Corps, right?
Army.
The Army. Okay. What year did you decide to join the Army? What motivated you to join the Army? Was that a last resort thing, or was you motivated to just strictly go to the
It,
Army and fight for the country? What was that all like?
it wasn't a matter of me deciding to go fight for America. It was a matter of life situations putting you in a position where you more or less had to do something. My book
Okay.
is called Surviving the Vietnam War. It talks about an 18-year-old kid who got in a fight in New Orleans. My mother was a fearful for us, so she sent me and my brother to live with my real dad in California.
Yeah.
Just like the Will Smith. We were the real Will Smith when he moved to Beverly Hills, but we didn't move to Beverly Hills. We moved to Long Beach.
Okay.
And we were staying with my dad, my real dad, but he had a wife with two other kids. I kept messing up calling his girlfriend his wife's name and his wife his girlfriend's name because he was
Yeah.
cheating on his wife. So, and he would bring us around his girlfriend to show us off. So I was 17. I was hot-headed. I kept calling them the wrong names. So he wanted to get rid of us. So he put us in an apartment and gave us a car for transportation. You couldn't live in LA without transportation. It's too big.
Yeah. Yes.
So he gave us a car and he gave us an apartment. Things was great. I was 17. My brother was 19. He was a
Mm.
track man. He loved race horses. My dad was a bookie. He used to book the horse bets. But my brother got into betting horses and he went started winning and shit. We were working at Lucky Supermarket. We had two nice jobs, making decent money.
Yeah.
So he started winning big time. So he quit his job. Lo and behold,
Mm.
his luck turned and he started losing. When he started losing, he couldn't pay the people back. So he said, and he didn't want to go back to New Orleans. So he decided to join the Air Force.
Okay.
Now that left me out in the cold because I couldn't afford to live in LA by myself. So I
Yeah.
would have either had to go back to New Orleans or do what ended up happening. I joined the military. They were trying to get me in the Air Force for 4 years. I didn't want to give
Yeah.
up 4 years of my life. So I go meet the Army recruiter. This fool
Yeah.
tell me, if you sign up here and take stock control and accounting, I guarantee you won't see no parts of Vietnam. My dad ate that shit up. He wanted to get rid of me. I was 17, so he signed me up. Dude, when I tell you I was in the army less than 6 months before I was in
Wow.
Vietnam.
Wow.
But I didn't have desire to go serve America. I wasn't no militant man. My uncles and all them served, but it wasn't in me. I wasn't really wanting to. I wanted to stay in California. And what happened
Yeah.
was I couldn't come back to New Orleans because I had to start smoking Mary Jane with my cousin. And my
Yeah.
pa told my mama, your son is on dope. So I'm going to send him back home as a drug addict. So I wasn't going back home with that.
Yeah.
So that's how I ended up in the army. Worst decision ever.
Yeah. I hear that. I hear that, man. Oh man, that's a journey, man. That's a journey, and you able to be a part of the army, right? What was that like going into the army? Where were you placed at, and did you even like the environment?
Well,
How was the people treated?
there still was racism back then, but it wasn't bad. A small sample of racism when I was in basic training hit me. My drill sergeant was telling me, your name is not Brown. Your name must be Brownie or Browner or something because you're not black. You're either Spanish or something, Mexican or something, but you're not black. What the fuck is you talking about? I know what the fuck I am. I know where I come from.
Yeah.
But that just shows you how they think. So after basic training, I got a promotion. Then you go to your next part in the military, which is called AIT, Advanced Individual Training, where they train you for what you're going to do in the service.
Okay.
Mine was stock control and accounting. In other words, I had to take an accounting class and learn how to control stocks in the warehouse.
Okay.
So I got a promotion out of that. Now I was an E3. I get to
Yeah.
Vietnam in less than 6 months. They didn't train me no military training. You know what I'm saying? As far as for combat training, nothing like that. It
Yeah.
was just learning how to ship supplies out. So in
Mhm.
Vietnam, we were coming from downtown one day, and we had sniper fire while we were in a truck. One of the dudes in the truck got scared when the bullets was hitting next to him in the truck, and he stood up. And when he stood up, I reached up to grab him to pull him back down before he get hit. When I reached up to grab him to pull him back down, the driver heard the gunshot. He shifted the truck gears, and when you shift the
Mm.
truck gears, the truck jerked like that, which threw me and him both out the truck. So that's
Mm.
how my eyelashes and stuff got all screwed up. That's been like that since then.
Damn.
But I got a promotion out of that, and I got a Bronze Star for heroism, trying to save the dude's life.
Yeah. Oh,
So
that's
now I'm
cool.
gonna eat four. I'm doing
Yeah.
real good. One step from sergeant. We go to a party one night at an EM club, and it was an enlisted men's club. After the party, the mess sergeant decided to take his friends and the band to the mess hall for some late night snacks. So we
Mm.
decided we would join him. When we get to the door, he pushed us back and said no niggas allowed. Naturally,
Wow.
that caused a fight. That's not the problem. The problem was not the fight. The problem was what they did after the fight. That's why I
Yeah.
wrote this book, because I'm looking for my 4 friends who were in this situation. They locked 5 of us up for 2 days while they figured out what to do with us. They
Wow.
came in the dark of night and they shipped 5 veterans to 5 different units around Vietnam.
Wow.
No Article 15s, no court martial, and that's military justice. We got no justice. So this
Mm.
is why that book is written. So I can find my friends and we can fight for what's right. So that's why I say I'll never give up. That's why I started making music. So I could get famous enough and maybe one of them could see me perform or see my name somewhere and realize, man, that's Brown. And I
Yeah.
don't remember their names because I was 18 years old. I tried to get the names from the military, but they will not release the names to me.
Yes.
So now I got my battle is to find these guys, and I'll be starting soon. I'll be traveling the East Coast to see if I can find them. After that happened, this is where my military changed. They sent me to what's called a 510 Engineers Company. I was not an
Yes.
engineer. I had no knowledge of an engineer, but they sent
Yes.
me there to get rid of us. So when I get there, they didn't send me to do no engineering work or anything. They sent me to an ammo dump to pull guard duty. That's what my new job was. And that's
Yes.
where I saw a kid get blowed up. His stomach was hanging out and it fucked with my mind and shit. Now I still don't know till the day if the kid died or if he lived, because when the firefight was going on, the medic came. And then we got him help. When the medic got there, we had to go back in our tower and finish protecting the ammo dump. So when they took him up, I
Mm.
don't know what happened to him. But
Mm.
I knew I couldn't go back to that ammo dump because I couldn't sleep after that. Every
Wow.
time I tried to lay down and sleep, I kept seeing this kid with all his guts open.
Oh man.
So when I told the commander I'm having problems, they always tell you this. Oh, I'm sorry, son, but you're in the military and you have to follow military orders. So with that, I went AWOL because I couldn't do it mentally.
Yes.
That's where I got my second Article 15. Now my first Article 15 came after the fight when they shipped me to this new company. I
Yep.
couldn't find a new company. So what did I do? I go back to my old company to let them know I couldn't find a new company. They
Mm.
immediately arrested me and gave me my first Article 15. Not
Mm.
for fighting, nothing for fighting. That didn't even happen. They gave me an Article 15 for being AWOL because I couldn't find my new unit. So it's a fucked up story. Eventually, there's gonna be a movie. I'm gonna make sure that this story get told. I have to.
Yeah. Yeah. As you should, man. As you should, man. Your story should be
And
told and
see,
should be put out there.
the first thing they teach you in the military is you never let your fellow soldiers down. If I don't continue this battle to fight to find these brothers, I'm letting them down, and
Yes.
I cannot do that. I cannot live with that in my conscience to know my 4 friends who were fighting to keep y'all free and the world free got fucked over.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened to them. I don't know if any of them even made it home. The
Mm.
problem is we're running out of time because there was like 2.9 million veterans that served in Vietnam. There's only something like 803,000 left.
Damn. Damn.
So we dying off like flies because of what they sprayed on us. They sprayed a chemical in Vietnam called Agent Orange,
Mm.
along with a bunch of other chemicals, chemical warfare. And
Yeah.
America is dirty because America tells you about everybody else who's spraying poison on people and doing dirty stuff to people, but
Yeah.
it doesn't talk about what they do.
They do.
America does the
Absolutely.
same thing.
Yeah. Completely evil, man. Evil tactics. Now.
And don't want to compensate the veterans who got the disease.
Absolutely. Absolutely. How how did and now I know Vietnam it led, besides seeing so many tragedies, right? Now I know some of those tragedies led to also drug experimenting just for so many different soldiers. Like, why was
Well,
that? Why was that so much of a heavy thing during those times? And what did it do to our people? What did those drugs do to our people during Vietnam?
what the problem was, when your mind sees bodies and people die and shit,
Yeah,
your mind gets fucked up big time. And it's hard to compensate reality from death. You know what I'm saying? That's why there's so many suicide with veterans. And there was no medical condition. Matter of fact, check this out. After I came from Vietnam, they sent me to Colorado to train to go to Vietnam. After
yeah,
I came from Vietnam. So we
mm,
were in the woods shooting at each other with BB guns, and I'm having flashbacks of Vietnam.
mm,
Now, when I was in Vietnam, because of what happened at that ammo dump with that kid and what else I saw on the highway riding convoy, my mind
yeah,
was fucked up. So I had to find a relief factor. There was no medication for us. They never claimed it as a disease. There wasn't no PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder, didn't exist. So
mm,
we turned to heroin because when I went to Saigon and I'm not sleeping, I'm still having problems sleeping. I get in the bar room and I'm looking at the brothers and they all in there like, you can't see me, huh?
mm.
You can't see me, huh?
Nah,
What I was trying to show you how they were ducking. You ever seen a heroin addict when he's on heroin? How they get that duck and the head just be down, look like he gonna fall down,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
that's how we all were because that
mm,
gave us relief from the nightmares. That was like our medicine. The only time we found peace from the nightmares of the war is when we were on heroin.
mm,
And
mm,
it was so crazy because when they first turned me on to the heroin, they did what was called skin popping. They just put the heroin under your skin, but
oh
that don't
wow,
do nothing for you. It just gives you a little buzz. They have to put the heroin in your main bloodline for it to really give you that effect. So
wow,
after they shot me up like 3 times, I learned how to shoot myself.
yeah,
You become proficient at shooting yourself because it's a survival drug. You need this to keep your sanity.
yeah,
So that's why
yes,
so many black veterans came back as drug addicts because there was no medical condition to help us get through the insanity of war. That's why they created PTSD during the Afghan war. But see,
yes, yeah,
they still don't tell y'all the Vietnam story. Vietnam was so heavily black because white kids was going to Canada and Europe to dodge the draft. Black
wow,
kids ain't had nowhere to go to. This is why Muhammad Ali stood up. That's my idol. Love that man to death.
yes,
That's why he didn't go into the military to protest the fact of what was going on in Vietnam. Muhammad
yes,
Ali said, I ain't never had a Vietnamese call me a nigger. So what the fuck I need to go over there and kill him for?
yeah, yeah,
And that's why this is why he didn't go. He went to jail just to, if he would have went in the military, he just would have been doing exhibition boxing everywhere. They would have used him to show him off to the world. You know what I'm saying? So he wouldn't have
absolutely,
gone to war or anything, and he knew this. But it was a statement that he gave up his whole career and his whole life to stand up for black veterans.
yep, and that's love,
That was big love, man. That was big fucking love.
yeah,
So when I came back, I was a heroin addict. I was still on that heroin. And the problem was the heroin in Vietnam was pure. It
yes,
was strong. When you get back here, the heroin was stepped on so many times, you had to shoot more so many times during the day because it wasn't strong enough.
yeah, and what most importantly, what helped you get off heroin? Uh, how would you able to shake that?
It's uh with weed. Everybody say you can't use a drug to get off a drug. I use weed to get off of heroin. It wasn't easy because the heroin is so strong and so addictive. I had to stay away from everybody that I knew who had connections to the heroin. I
Yeah,
had to lock myself up and go through the fucking sweat and the tears. But I had a
yes,
support system. My mother and my stepdad were there to help me through them bad times.
yeah,
But I mean,
yes,
you get the shivers, you get everything you could think of that was fucking with you physically and mentally would happen to you when you're trying to get off of that heroin.
Wow. Wow.
But I was able to get off it, and that was one of the biggest things in my life to battle through. I said
Yes.
in one of my songs, I said I was in hell twice, Vietnam and heroin.
Absolutely.
Because getting off the heroin was no fucking joke.
Yes.
But I was blessed to be able to get over it. And then after that, I had gotten kicked out the army because of what I told you happened in Colorado with my mind playing games with me shooting at people like I'm in Vietnam again, having flashbacks. So I took a bad discharge.
Oh,
They gave me an undesirable discharge. So they kicked me out. Now I had to
yes.
fight 10 years from 70 all the way to 79, well, 9 years, to get that discharge upgraded.
Ah,
So between that time, I had all kind of odd and end jobs. I worked as a bricklayer. I worked for Coca-Cola trucking company. I worked as a cab driver. I
yeah.
worked at Western Electric. I worked at the space plant in New Orleans called Martin Marietta.
Yes.
So I did all kind of jobs just to keep me, you know what I'm saying, alive, just to keep me making money. And then finally, I got a job in the post office. But when I got the job called to go to the post office, I was working at Western Electric. And I was always getting better jobs. No benefits, but they were better paying jobs. Post office was the job I wanted because of the benefits factor.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They really had great benefits, and it was a lifelong job.
Yes.
So while I was at Western Electric, I had what's called calcium spurs in my feet. So I was doing a job of just sitting by a desk fixing telephones with a little brr, brr. You know, I never had to stand up or nothing, just sit down and do that.
Yes.
So I got the operation on my two calcium spurs, and lo and behold, the post office calls me in for an interview to deliver the mail, to be a mailman, which
Okay.
is all walking.
Okay.
When I go to the post office for the interview, both of my feet are in cast
Oh man.
because they had done did the operation. They cut the spurs off. So when I tell you, the man tell me, he said, I got good news and bad news. I said, well, what's the good news? Good news is you got the job. I said, well, what's the bad news? He said, the bad news is you got to start in 3 weeks. Now, my feet want to get better for another 2 months. That's how much longer I was supposed to keep them cast
Yeah.
on. When I tell you I went home and cut that fucking cast off of both of my feet, and I start
Yeah.
walking around my house in pain, grabbing the dresser, grab the nightstand, grab everything I had to grab to get to the bathroom or to get wherever I had to go to do what I needed to do. So
Yeah.
it was, and when I started delivering the mail, literally the children, you always start on the worst part of the post office when you get hired. They usually
Uh huh.
put you in the project or some part where, you know, it's not the best part in the world. So they put me in the
Yeah.
St. Thomas project. And the little kids in New Orleans, they look at us Creoles like white people. The little kid be
Yeah.
hollering in the project, Mama, mama, here come the crippled white man.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But it was cool. But I made it through those times. I delivered that meal that whole route. Then in
Yeah.
83, I run up on a supervisor who wants to make a name for himself. So he's trying to bash me. When he kept trying to fuck with me, bother me about my meal delivery and all my work, I ended up going off on this dude. But to keep from putting my hands on him, they sent me home. I
Mm.
go home, and he talking about taking my job.
Wow.
So what I did was I got all my drug paraphernalia out my house because then I was like with angel dust, acid. I still was using a lot of chemical drugs. I got
Yes.
off the heroin, but my mind was so fucked up. I still was doing a lot of other shit.
Uh huh.
So I go home. I take all my drugs out of my house, and I get on the roof with a pillow, a bag, and a gun. I called the police department. I called the newspaper, and I called my aunt and told my aunt to tell my mother to get to my house.
Mm.
So I had this big scene at my house with the newspaper picked it up with a veteran attempt suicide. I never pointed that gun at me. I love me too much to hurt me.
Yes.
What I did was, he said, "What you doing up there?" I said, "I'm trying to get y'all to keep me from going to kill my supervisor."
Yes.
And that was the whole story and the whole spiel. So after that, they end up sending me to see a psychiatrist
Yeah.
because they couldn't just let me go back to work without me being examined first. But
Okay.
they gave me my job. They didn't take my job. When I go see the psychiatrist and they tell me you go and see Dr. James Brown,
Yeah.
naturally, what did I think? I'm thinking he's a what?
Well, a singer, dancer,
No, I'm thinking he's a black man.
black man,
James
yeah.
Brown? Come on, man. Who the fuck a name a white kid James Brown? You know what I'm saying? When I'm in the doctor's office and the doctor walk in the room, when the doctor walk in the room, I bust out laughing. And then the doctor said, "Mr. Brown, what's wrong? What are you laughing about?" I said, "Doc, I got to be totally honest. When they told me I was coming to see Dr. James Brown, I just knew you was black." After that, me and him clicked so good. This dude told me after I told him the whole story of what happened. He said, "Mr. Brown, go home, relax yourself. Don't worry about a thing. When you're ready to go back to work, you let me know, and then I will inform the post office. You will get paid until you're ready to go back to work." I was off for like 3.5, almost 4 months. I got bored. So I called the doc and said, "Doc, I'm ready to go back to work." They let me pick the supervisor that I wanted to go work for. Because I
Okay.
worked for, before I worked for that dude who fucked with me, I had worked for 3 and 4 other supervisors. So I picked the one who was cool as I could think of, and that was a guy named Woodrow Still.
Okay.
And I developed a great relationship with Woodrow till he passed away. But I found a home, and the problem
Mm-hmm.
was my shit had made the big headlines in the paper. I was the front center page of the Time Picayune newspaper. So when
Mm-hmm.
I went back to work, all these old smart asses clowns in the post office would make jokes about, "Oh, that's him. That's the fiddler on the roof. That's the crazy man who was on his roof." And I let it go on for a long time. I didn't give a fuck. Say what you want.
Yeah.
Until one day, these two twins called me in a bad mood and he was fucking with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I tell you I put that Vietnam face on their fucking ass, and I said, "Bitch, let me tell you something. You fuck with me one more motherfucking time, I'm gonna snatch your heart out your fucking chest and chew it like a piece of gum, bitch. Fuck with me.
Damn.
Give me a reason to go off in this motherfucker." See, after
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
them dudes was like little lambs every time they saw me. They ain't say fucking thing.
Oh, yeah.
And which was gangster because it let everybody in the post office know not to fuck with me no more. And I always
Absolutely.
had one or two of them that I would let get away with that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that was
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be good friends. But see, your good friends are the ones that fuck with you the most.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Now, you supposed to be my good friend. This shit been over 10 years and you still come around here, head fiddler on the roof. What the fuck is your goal?
Exactly.
What do
Exactly.
you get out of trying to belittle me after 15 years? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you don't have no kind of game. You don't have no kind of personality to make jokes about something else. You trying to linger on something that happened 15 fucking years ago. I just
Yep.
don't give a fuck. That's the only reason I never cut you off.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
people in your corner are the worst ones, literally.
Yep. Yep. Well, you gotta keep solid people around you, man.
Yeah.
Solid people. Solid people. Uh. Now. Now. Uncle Emo. Why was so many brothers, right, stripped of their benefits from Vietnam War? Why was so many people just came home? It seemed like when you hear about the story, so many people was left with nothing when they came from the Vietnam War.
And if you ever notice, most of them's black. This is a racist country, bro.
Yeah,
Literally. Didn't know
yeah,
every veteran deserves justice. Didn't know every veteran deserves their Medicaid. I can go to VA and see so many white dudes put their application in and get it approved within a year, within the first 6 months. But black dudes' appeals got to go over and over and over and over. Like I told you earlier, the Vietnam War was more black soldiers than they willing to admit. That's why when they show you these Vietnam movies, you might see one or two black troops in there. Fuck no. Fuck
yeah,
no. It wasn't like that. Dog, we had a thing in Vietnam. When you came in front of black men, you had to give dap. The dap
yeah.
dance was when they pound their hands and they do so many gestures because of the unity. When we would go to the mess hall, You had to dap everybody in that mess hall before you got in your chow line.
Yep.
It was respect factors.
Yep.
But
Yep.
every black veteran that went to Vietnam got fucked over one way or the other.
Mm.
We got paid 38 cents a day
Damn.
to serve in Vietnam because it was never declared a war. It was always called the Vietnam conflict.
Crazy.
So I got
Crazy.
battles. I'm trying to get in front of Congress because I want them to pay combat pay to every veteran that served in Vietnam because now the government is going around talking about they're celebrating the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War. And if you
Yes. Yeah.
call it a war, that opens the door for you to have to pay combat veterans combat pay. All those
Yeah.
veterans that you saying served in Vietnam that were serving in a conflict, you owe all them money. And if they dead, you owe that money to their families.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I
Because
got
they
big
always.
battles, dog. I got big battles. I had a heart attack on February the 6th.
Yes.
I had to have quadruple bypass. If God wanted me home, I would have been on the bus, dog. My heart,
Yes.
they stop your heart when you have quadruple bypass because they gotta disconnect the lines that's connected to you and replace it with veins out of your legs and shit. So you
Hmm.
literally have to die for a few, maybe about 30 seconds or even a minute or two, as long as it doesn't affect the brain. But they have to disconnect your heart to get it to reconnect the clean lines to it. So if God wanted me home, I was there. This is why I preach so much about religion, and people be so hard about. Anytime you say anything against religion, they are quick to attack you with the Bible.
Yes.
That book was written to control us. I know God lives in us. God could have took me home on that table. After I had that heart attack, I lost 3 friends with heart attacks. 38, 42, and another 60-year-old veteran, something 60 something years old,
Yeah.
dropped
Yeah.
dead with a heart attack. So when God wants you to go home, that's when you go home. I could have went home in Vietnam.
Yes.
Off the back of that truck, when we got fell off the back of that truck, could have broke my neck. So many times I
Mhm.
could have went home. I was in a car accident March the 10th with a drunk driver last year. Could have went home then.
Yep.
You
Yep.
have a date when you were born that's the date you're gonna die. Your death date is already written in stone. That's why I
Yep.
tell people live your life to the fullest because it could be tonight. It could be tomorrow morning. You could be in
Yes.
tip top shape. I had a friend tip top shape. He was jogging around a cruise ship with his wife on their honeymoon. Dropped dead with a massive heart attack. When
Wow.
it's your time to die is when you're gonna die. Not a day before, not a day after.
Yes.
And you learn that process through the living of your life, the shit you go through in your life. These things teach you, and you're supposed to learn. So many people don't learn. If I keep seeing the Catholic Church sleeping with all these kids, and I keep donating to the Catholic Church, that makes me a man who's donating to a pedophile.
Absolutely.
The same thing
Absolutely.
with the Catholic, with the preachers. If I keep giving my money to these churches and I'm watching these preachers drive 4 and 5 cars, Cadillacs, Mercedes, all kind of Jags and stuff, and I keep giving that money to that church, that's my stupid self. I didn't wake
Yep.
up. I didn't learn anything. So life is about learning and life is about creating. That's all life is about. Do great things and share God's love. That's what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely. 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 Don't. I have a question. For our communities right now, as you see, we are suffering all throughout America, right? And especially the youth. Um, what will it take, honestly, for our youth to get back on track, but just honestly the black community per se back on track towards, just thinking and being better as a community.
Unfortunately, it's not going to happen in our lifetime unless, like you're seeing right now, there's a civil war which is about to happen. This dude that's running for president came on the news the other day and he said if he doesn't get elected president, there's going to be a lot of bloodshed in America. He literally made that statement, calling for his people to get ready So when he loses this election, that they can attack America again, that would put us in a civil war. That could end
Yes.
up all the crime. All these kids that got the guns will now have to use their guns against the real enemy
Yep.
and not each other. And that's about the only thing that's going to save us, because all of our leaders are full of bullshit. Our
Absolutely.
political leaders are full of bullshit. Our
Yes.
little local leaders are full of bullshit. Everybody's materialistic.
Yep.
Until we can break the materialistic cycle of America and realize that all this shit we buying ain't nothing but shit
Yes.
that we can't take with us and is destroying your spirit. Your spirit is the greatest thing God gave you. And we are
Yes.
losing our spirits every day because we want diamonds. We want, and Bob Marley said it best. A man that wants money is going to always be a wanter.
Yes.
You're going to always want, because there's going to always be more and more money. You're never going to
Yes.
find happiness and satisfaction. You look at these entertainers with millions of dollars. Robin Williams, the funny comedian, one of the funniest men of all time, with all kind of movies, committed suicide. Why? Because money cannot make you happy. Oh, but money could
Yes.
buy me this and money could buy you. Buying shit is not happiness. It's simply
Yeah.
buying shit. You have to find
Absolutely.
happiness. I wake up every day happy. I don't need shit to make me happy.
Mm-hmm.
This is the confusing part of life. If black people ever decide that they want to really change this country, they're going to have to stop buying anything. Fuck buying anything. Let's shut the government down through financial means. If
Yes.
all black folks stop spending their money and just hoard their money, the country going to have to fucking answer to the bell. But
Yes.
we can not stop the cycle. We buying kids tennis that cost $150, $200, and then want to know why he got jacked up at school. Why you put that on your baby feet?
Exactly.
Why you buying your kid a car and flashing the car up with all kind of rims, all kind of gold shit on it, and they carjacking motherfuckers every day? Why are
Exactly.
you
Exactly.
advertising for your child to get killed?
Hey, absolutely.
Because we program. I want my children with the best. I want my children with more than what I had. It's not about what you had. It's not about more shit.
Shit.
It's about your
Exactly.
kid being spiritually connected to the universe. Let him go walk barefoot out there in the grass and feel Mother Earth. Let him put his feet in the ocean, in the lake, and feel Mother Earth. Feel the
Yep.
real things of life, the spiritual side of life. Indians' lives was perfect. Indians didn't kill nothing for no sport. Indians and black folks, when they would hunt, it was for food. It was not to kill to hang on the wall.
Absolutely.
We have a percentage of white folks that's so full of evil. And when I say that, white people get mad. Why you saying? Because that's who it is. It's the 1%. That
Yeah.
1 little % of white folks that's so evil that control this world. And if we don't address those issues, we're never going to be able to change those issues.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
I
All
got to go back in the studio and I got to start making some more music. You know,
right.
I got Bad Knee, Deep in the Game, Juke Joint, Best Friend, Get High, Dig. I got so many songs out there. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yes.
got to get back. I got to get out and perform and shit and take it to another level.
Yes. Now I know music was a therapeutic release for you. Was that also an extra release for you after the war? Also,
No,
music.
no, I didn't do no music till after Katrina, after Hurricane
O-
Katrina.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. No problem.
I never listened to rap that much. When I was coming up, it was more Marvin Gaye, Earth, Wind and Fire,
Yeah.
Frankie Beverly and Mays, Aretha, all that kind of old time music. I never was
Okay.
in that much to rap, but I used to listen to
Okay.
Pac and Snoop and Biggie and them, you know, like that, but not on a heavy basis.
Okay. Okay. And then now, what's some of that music that bring you back, that make you think about those old times? Just what music make you think about those, old times when you was, when you was, you know, uh, overseas? What music was playing during those
Oh
times, during the war
man, Michael
times?
Jackson and them had just came out, and
Okay.
yeah, he had just got his first. He was like 8 years old with his first little song, and James Brown had "I'm Black and I'm Proud."
Okay.
Yeah, we had the music back then was. It was all music. It wasn't rap. Wasn't even around. No words of rap. Matter of fact, the first people to ever do rap was really the Last Poets from New York,
Okay.
and that was back in the like I want to say the late '70s or '80s. But they didn't. It didn't continue, and it came back years later again. But
Mhm.
no, we didn't have no rap. We had the memories that I would have was like just nice singing songs, you know. Marvin Gaye, The Temptations, Smokey Robinson, you know, a lot of love songs and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, yeah. The Temptations, man, they always a classic.
Oh
Marvin
yeah,
Gaye.
Four
Uh,
Tops, yeah, all them old groups. But you had a lot of groups back then. You had the Spinners, the Shy Lights. You had all
yeah,
kind of groups. But
yeah,
now you don't have that kind of music no more. It just like got washed away.
absolutely, absolutely. Heat Wave was heavy too.
Yeah,
Um,
but well, when rap came out, rap was to address the issue of violence against blacks in America. That's what rap was based on, to address issues. But then it got blown away and it started flipping the switch because remember, the people that are in charge are the ones that design what's going to be played on the radio. So all these
absolutely.
kids want their music on the radio, so they would make music conducive to what the radio stations wanted to hear, not what the people needed to hear,
Yeah,
because it got
yeah,
all away from social injustice. It
yeah,
ended up on the street. I'm a killing motherfucker. I got bitches up the ass. I'm a gangster motherfucker. You see
yeah,
what it went to the whole because they kept promoting that.
yeah.
They needed that to keep our children's mind fucked up, where they would kill each other.
Yes, yes.
But we had no leaders, man. We had Jesse Jackson. We had Al Sharpton. Come on. Al Sharpton was a CIA, FBI agent undercover. And they're still out there
Mhm.
talking shit. Jesse Jackson was caught one time with his mic open at a meeting, at a press conference. Jesse Jackson said when Obama was running, they need to castrate that nigga.
Mm,
Now you a minister and you ran for president and you gonna come at another brother like that?
absolutely.
That's
Yep,
our
yep,
leaders. So how can we be right if our leaders are like that?
yep. Exactly, exactly, exactly. And truthfully, have we even had a leader since the '60s?
Since Malcolm, no.
Since
Martin was a leader. He was able to get the people together, but Martin still too was like, soft. The hard one was Malcolm. Malcolm said, if you fuck with my woman, I'm gonna kill you. If you
exactly,
fuck with
we
my
haven't.
family, I'm gonna kill you. Martin would say, turn the other cheek.
Yeah,
No,
we have. Yep, haven't had no true leaders since the '60s.
we had the
Uh,
Black Panthers, and they
like yeah,
destroyed the Black
like
Panthers because they
absolutely,
were literally
absolutely.
standing up for neighborhoods and taking care of our people.
Yes, the
Angela
Black
Davis was
Panthers.
a white chick, and she fought hell for the black folks.
Yes, yes,
H. Rap Brown was another one.
yep. And I feel like only one of the only rap leaders that we had in history was Tupac. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah,
Well, well,
Pac
well
was real
towards
because
the end.
Pac was he found out how bad the injustice was at a young age.
Yeah,
Biggie never dealt with the injustices of the government,
nah,
but
nah,
Pac did. Pac was addressing a lot of issues.
absolutely.
That's why they took him out. That's why they couldn't have that nigga around. Anybody black that's doing something wise and righteous will get taken out.
Yep, yep. Doing something good,
Malcolm
something
did not want.
positive.
Yeah, Malcolm wanted separation because y'all would not fucking give us justice. Malcolm wanted
Exactly.
separation away from his enemy because that's what you all were. Y'all were the enemy. You beating
Yep,
his people, you murdering his people, you persecuting his people. Fucking right, I want separation from you. The
yep,
fuck?
yep,
Why I
yep. We
want
can't grow.
living with you and you don't want me around? What the fuck I look like?
Absolutely, because how can we grow without separation? If we can separate and have our own foundation over here, we
And
don't ever
teach
have to ever worry about going back to your foundation.
and educate our own children. And we don't have to go to school to learn your science and your history and all that other bullshit you
Yes,
teaching.
yes, Yep. We can learn about economics, learn about trades,
and
learn
learn
about things.
about what we love. Because when you find what you love in
Absolutely.
life, that's where your fame is at. That's where your greatness is. But you
Yep.
gotta find it. If I got a 7-year-old kid and every day I come home and this kid is in the kitchen beating on the kitchen table with his hands, I'm gonna get him a fucking drum set.
Exactly.
If I got a kid that's always in the room dancing like she a ballerina, she keep during gymnastic move, I'm putting her in gymnastics.
Yep.
Let a kid find out what that child loves in life, nurture that, help that child get that greatness it deserves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what we supposed to do. We supposed to be nurturing all that greatness.
We're not nurturing our kids at all.
I see a lot of things in society more like destroying the children. And again, uh, why do we have so much of a single parent household? And honestly, just to touch bases on more of most of the single parent households that we see in America is led by women now. How damaging how damaged have women have been? How damaged have they been? And what damage are they causing to these children lives that they are going out onto the streets, taking in all that anger and then delivering out back onto the streets?
All right, first of all, we can't blame the woman because we desert the women.
Yes,
When we desert the women, we desert the children. This is where we fall short.
yes,
Remember, the black man is supposed to be the head of his household. If he's
yes,
stepping off, and even if you can't get along with a woman, you still don't leave your children. We have left our children. So we can't blame the black woman because guess what? We started disrespecting women back in the days like a motherfucker. Bitch, come here, hoe. Come suck this motherfucking dick, bitch. I don't, nasty mother. We disrespected our women because that's what they wanted us to do. They put it in us where we put it in our music. We made sure that the black man did not love his black woman no more. And in today's society, it's 10 times worse. Niggas don't trust women. Women don't trust niggas.
yes,
How you
yes,
gonna build a relationship and we have so much lack of trust? Trust is the
yes,
basis foundation of love, of life.
yes,
If I can't trust you, I can't fuck with you.
yes,
So they broke that down to where we have no real true love for the black woman no more. We have love for sex, we have love for pussy, but we don't have love for our women. And we quick to blame our women for what's wrong with our children. Stop that. These women are doing what they gotta do. You left them with the motherfucking little badass nigga. She got to. She ain't got no choice but to raise this motherfucker because you walked out. And she
yeah,
probably working 2 fucking jobs to try to make ends meet. That's why she can't correct him sometimes because she ain't never home. We are the fucking problem. And until a man come up to the fucking plate, this situation ain't gonna never get no better. We can keep blaming women and race all we want. But we are the fucking problems. We not
yeah,
gangsters no more, dog.
yeah,
A gangster is a man who take care of his motherfucking family. Let's get it real. A gangster is a
absolutely,
nigga who ain't gonna let you come rape his daughter or fucking molest his son. That's a
yes,
gangster. Bitch, I'll fuck you up for my child.
absolutely,
That's a gangster. And back in the
absolutely,
day, when something happened in the neighborhood, everybody in the neighborhood came out to find that person who was missing. Everybody in the neighborhood came to help Mr. Johnson if his house got fucked up. You can't
right,
get nobody to help nobody in today's society, dog.
yeah,
We are lost people. Dog,
yeah,
I'm 73 years old, Vietnam vet, a rapper with great music. You see anybody come trying to fuck with me? I got good comedy. I got good inspirational words. You see anybody trying to come support me? Them big time motherfuckers ain't fucking with you because they're afraid you might out surpass them in the market of life. Instead of saying, let me help this brother get these messages out and then maybe together we can rise some more.
yeah,
But like I said before, I depend on no nigga. God didn't send me here with nobody. God sent me here by my motherfucking self. And when I leave, I'm leaving by my motherfucking self. So if you want to work with me, I'm great. You see, I told you in the interview, I'm honored. Let's do it. But I'm not gonna kiss your ass for me to come work with you. I'm not gonna be calling you, begging you, man. How you figure? Let's get together. No, fuck all that. You know what the deal is. You're a grown man. And if you disrespect me,
Yeah.
don't think I'm gonna fuck with you no more. One
Yeah.
dude told me, "Oh, we got to learn how to forgive each other. Disrespect is not a forgivable item because if you disrespect me this time, you're gonna disrespect me again.
Yeah.
If you disrespect me this time, that's your fault. If you
Mm.
disrespect me the next time, then it's my fault because I allowed you to.
Yeah.
Stop letting motherfuckers disrespect you and still say that's in your corner. That nigga
Yeah.
ain't in your corner. Get the fuck out of
Yeah.
here.
Yes.
A nigga
Yes.
ain't raising his children. I'm not gonna fuck with you. You ain't even taking care of your own fucking children. What make you think you're gonna do right by me?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna put myself in situations in harm's way because I can see the writing on the wall.
Yeah. Yes. I believe it. Yes. Yes. Now I got a question. Cause now, what about the men? Cause I see we have a few comps. Now, what about the men that do want to be in these kids' lives, and then you have on the opposite end, you have the bitter kids' mothers that stop them from seeing the kids, or you put things in the way, obstacles in the way for him to get around to see his
Obstacles,
kids.
all obstacles are there for you to get over. All obstacles are there for you to achieve past that obstacle. Get past the
Yeah,
obstacle. So if she
yeah,
don't want you to see your child, that don't mean you give up on seeing your child. Nigga,
true.
if you gotta sneak to see your fucking child, that's your child.
Yeah,
Be outside
yes,
that schoolyard. When she drop him off at school in the morning, tell him meet you around the back. You're gonna be by the back fence. Communicate with your son. Communicate with your daughter. Everybody
uh-huh,
goes through changes with ex-wives, nigga. Everybody. Mine
yes,
sent me through changes. Mine even
yes,
told me one day, look, you don't even have to send me no child support. Just don't come see that girl no more. Leave her alone. I said, bitch, you crazy. I tell you what, I do better than that. Let me raise her and I'll still give you child support. How that sound? I'm
mm-hmm,
gonna raise her. Let her come live with me and I'm gonna still give you child support. But my daughter ended up coming by me when she was 13 years old, 12 or 13, till she was
yeah,
17. I
yeah,
had 5 sweet years with my baby. But when she was younger, so yeah, shit happened. You talking about with the exes, right? My
uh-huh,
daughter was in kindergarten. Her little cousin came in town from California, right? On a Wednesday, a weekday. Now the
uh-huh,
baby is in kindergarten. I kept her out of kindergarten school, took her to Audubon Park to spend a day with her cousin from California.
yeah,
After that day, I never got my child on a Christmas again.
uh,
Like you
uh,
said, evil people, they do evil shit to you, but you don't let that shit break you down. You defeat the evil. You don't run
yeah,
away from the evil.
yeah,
Of course, these women are they're heartbroken. They're mad because they can't keep you around. So they're gonna do
yeah,
anything they can do. The worst ones, the ones when they try to put a child molestation charge on a man who never touched his children, just so he won't have to be dealing with his children. And it gets
yeah,
that evil. It gets
yeah.
that evil.
Yeah. So what can men do about that? Cause like you got certain situations when you got certain men, they don't know what to do in those situations. When they come to a situation like that, they just break down because they don't even know what to do.
You got to gangster up. You got to be a man. You got to, first thing of all, you got to realize is that's your seed. That
Yeah,
is your seed. God
absolutely.
gave you the power to create life. That's the life that God gave you the power to create. Now you gonna walk away from that? You gonna leave that because some broad told you stay
I
away from your
know.
child? That's your seed. That's you. That's the little you. Ain't gonna
Yeah.
be another one like that. Do not leave your seed. I don't give a fuck what the bitch tell you. Fight in court. Do whatever you gotta do. But keep a communication with your child.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And nothing in life
And
is easy. Matter of fact, the best things in life are the hardest things in life. Me getting through Vietnam was one of the hardest things of my life, but it was one of the best things. I learned
mm,
so much in the process, although I lost so much. You know,
yes.
it took me 40 years to get my disability from that Agent
Wow.
Orange shit, and I just got that because I got cut open.
Mm,
But they weren't giving benefits are because the Vietnam War, like I told you, had so much more blacks than what they are willing to show you in the movies and on TV.
Yes, yes. And how are we able to defeat racism in America? I mean, because I feel like I feel like voting is not a way. Well, that's just my opinion. But I just feel like voting haven't been a way of defeating racism in America. So, what is that beginning solution of defeating racism and putting it all to a halt?
Well, the bottom line is, like they say, if we separate from them or if we create greatness, you got to remember, we have been creating greatness. They had Black Wall Street. They destroyed the fuck out of it.
Yeah,
They had areas in Florida that where black folks was doing so great and so prosperous, they destroyed the whole fucking town.
yeah,
We have to develop a means of letting them people know we're not going to put up with this kind of shit no more.
no,
You're not going to just destroy us. But the big thing is we got to unite first. You
absolutely,
can't compete. You can't compete racism when you still racist amongst yourself.
absolutely,
And we racist amongst our own people. I don't want to see you get ahead. That's racism.
absolutely.
And then if we don't address the racism of color, not the racism of finance, but the racism of color, we can't fix that. People say, why you always bring race up? Because it's a main factor in this existence. This government is built on racism. When
Absolutely.
they came here, and first of all, they lied with all them cowboy and Indian movies like there wasn't no black folks in America. It was all Indians and cowboys. Man, black folks been here, been on fucking American soil.
Absolutely.
And they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know the great inventions that black folks have made and contributed to the society of today. So
Yeah.
many things black folks created that were stole by the slave master, that were
Hmm.
stole by the system. Even on after slavery was over, they were creating great things, going to these companies and bringing that idea to the company. The company steal the idea and get a black dude maybe $1,000. Here, go about your business.
Mm.
But we as a people just accept everything that they tell us. Just like with the religion. That religion was beat upon us. It was beat on us that we read that Bible. It was beat upon us that we go to church, that you find Jesus. And now every black person in America, when you said Jesus, they're digging in their pocket to throw it in the basket.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're programmed people, Neff, and until we change the programming in this country, we're gonna always get abused. We're gonna always get taken advantage of. They already separated us. That's the biggest thing you can do to a race of people. Everybody else
Absolutely.
support their people. A Jew is gonna shop at a Jewish store. An Asian is
Yeah.
going to shop with Asian people. A Mexican is gonna move in a Mexican community. A nigger don't want to live in a nigger community. What the
Yep.
fuck?
Yep. Yep. And won't buy from other niggas.
Well,
Will straight go buy
you
from
got to
somewhere else.
realize that's because the white man's ice is colder than the black man's ice.
Mm.
That's what was said back in the day. See, back in the day, they didn't have refrigerators. You literally had an ice box. It was a box that you would buy ice from a dude on a truck. He would sell you a block of ice. You put that in the top of that box, and that's what kept your food cold. This was before refrigeration.
Yes.
All right. And the
Yes.
rumors in the neighborhood was don't buy the black man's ice because the white man's ice was colder.
Wow. Wow.
So that's why niggas don't shop with niggas. Niggas say, I can't go to a black doctor. He ain't been through school as much as the white doctor. I
Wow.
can't go to a black mechanic because he going to charge me twice as much as the white mechanic.
Mm.
We have these blocks in our mind that were put in there years and years ago.
Yeah.
And that's why we don't support each other. Why you think a nigga don't, they can open an Asian supermarket in a black neighborhood and clean up? Iranian could move in a black neighborhood, sell gas and sell everything else and sell out. But if a
Yep.
black man open that gas station, he ain't gonna make no money.
Nope.
What the fuck is that telling you?
Mm.
That we do not support each other in no way, shape, or form.
No, we do not
Look,
support each other in our own
Angela
community.
Coleman said, "Yeah, Yes, sir. My grandmother had an ice box. She told me that.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Man, so much knowledge, so much wisdom, man. Unc, man, it was wonderful having you on, and but before we even finish up, we need to know some things, and especially we need to hear some wonderful inspiration for young brothers that's growing up within America. All the things that they knew, all the things that they need to stay successful. All the tools that they need to stay focused, and the most important thing of doing in these times as a young black male. What advice do you have to give to these young brothers?
First thing you got to do is get your spirit right. You are of a great creator, and you have to learn to believe in yourself. There's a God inside of you that is dying to speak to you. It's called meditation. It's something that we never teach our kids how to do. It's like investing money in the stock market, something we never teach our kids how to do. But you
Yes,
definitely need to get your spirit right. And when you get your spirit right, everything else falls in line. Most important thing is life is, why did God give you life? He gave you life for you to do great things and to bless other people. Speak to everybody. Stop trying to judge people. People are afraid to speak, but when you speak, you release and open a door that they are afraid to go through. It allows them to go through that door. When you, even to white folks, when you say hello, you'd be surprised how many of them will say hello back. Most
yes,
people are not filled with hate. It's the few that are filled with hate. You got to find what you love in life, son. Just like you did, you working with your magazine. You found something to keep you mentally involved. You have to
yes,
find something that's going to keep you off the streets. The streets are a death trap right now. Find out whatever you want and start working on that project, whether you want to be a construction worker, a bricklayer, a musician, a painter, anything you want. Whatever moves you the most is where your greatness is.
yes,
Find your greatness, and everything else what matter. It's not about money. Your greatness is going to bring you more money than you could ever dream of because you have mastered that trade. A trumpet
yes.
player or a sax player, that little kid is every day in the backyard or in his house till he get those notes right year in and year
Absolutely.
out. You going to play basketball. You going to play football. Where he at? Then he becomes the greatest musician of all time
Absolutely.
because he found his love of life. This is all you need to do. Find your love of life, love everybody, stop being judgmental, and stop being a financial fool. You don't need money. Money is a means of getting what you think you want. What you
Mhm.
want has nothing to do with what you need.
Absolutely.
Work on what you need, not on what you want. Those tenders that y'all spending all your money on, it's what you want. It's not what you need. All these raggedy clothes you buying, diamonds up the ass, putting on your neck so a nigga could bust you in the back of your head and rob you, that's what you want. That's not what you need. What you
Absolutely.
need is peace of mind.
Yes,
What you need is happiness.
yes.
What you need is love. Love is the bottom line key to life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely,
And what you
folks. And
need
y'all
to,
heard it.
you need to go get
Mm.
this book so y'all can learn the whole story about Unc Emo. It's on Amazon. It's called Surviving the Vietnam War. It tells my whole story. And it helps me to align where I need to go to the East Coast to try to find these cats. And if you want to help veterans, that's for veterans that really deserve justice.
Yes. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Y'all tap in, tap in, tap in. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard the words of inspiration from Uncle Emo. We appreciate you for coming through. You already know who it is, King George, the curator of Black 31 magazine. Each week we will be tapping in with another interview each and every week. And before we even finish up, one last time, Unc, where can the people find you at?
If you put UNC IMO, Unc Emo, on any platform, I haven't been doing Facebook because Facebook somebody stole my account and I'm not even really fighting to get it back. I mostly basically do Instagram and YouTube, and I haven't been doing my YouTube, but mostly Instagram. If you want me to come for a gig or speaking engagement, I'll be email at tntvend@yahoo.com. TNTVend at Yahoo. And my music is on Spotify. Everything is on YouTube, and everything else is UNC IMO. And I'm proud of what you're doing too, my brother. Don't ever let nobody make you stop what you're doing. Keep doing your shit till your magazine be as big as what they call People Magazine or all them big time magazines. All things in God's time. We do the process,
Absolutely.
let God grab the ship and make it sail.
Absolutely, brother. Appreciate you so much. Appreciate you so much, man, for having you. It was excellent, man. You already know. And we forever connected.
Oh, for
Peace and
sure.
love.
I'll be up
Peace and
that way
love.
around 420. I'm coming to Washington, D.C. for 420.
All right, that's a bet. That's a bet. That's a bet. You know I'm in Philly, but yeah, we can definitely make it
Yeah,
out
that's
DC.
around the
We
corner.
can
That's
do
around the corner.
it. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can make it to DC.
All right, my brother. I love you, man.
Yep, same here. Love you too, man. Peace and love.
Respect.
All right, man. Peace.
In the presence of a real legend, invested in the people, so I highly stress it. The tales are poetic, this that real message. I felt hella pressure, it only made me better. Ain't no second guessing the presence of a real legend, invested in the people, so I highly stress it. Stress it. Pay attention, train your mind. During these times, we need more education, not incarceration, to elevate from negativity at all costs. Knowledge, power. Remember this game spilled, given.